Hello there, Safaraz here, Saf. I'm the founder of the Asian Apprenticeship Awards. Today we have Sajid Rashid here with us at Pathway Group offices. Saj is an ambassador for the Asian Apprenticeship Awards. As a young man, he's a role model with a huge commitment to helping young people. He's had a successful career with Rolls-Royce, where he started off as an apprentice at the age of 16. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. In the New Year's Honours List of 2016, he was awarded the BEM, that's the British Empire Medal by Her Majesty the Queen, in recognition of his services to community as well as charitable fundraising. That was at the age of 26, making him the youngest Asian recipient of this award. Welcome today. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for agreeing to become an ambassador. Really appreciate your support and your assistance. Obviously, we spoke about the Queen's Honours List. Tell us a little bit about how you found out. Obviously, recognised. How does it feel?
So I was when I found out, I received a letter through the post, and I was having my breakfast actually.
Yeah, okay.
And my dad come in and told me, about the letter. It was addressed to myself from the cabinet office.
Right.
So I opened the letter up, and it was well written. Yeah. It was quite, it looked quite.
Yeah. It looked quite important.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looked quite important.
It's not like a telephone bill.
That's right. Yeah. So it looked quite important. It was from David Cameron, and writing to say that that he's willing to put me forward to the Queen to receive this honour, and asking me if I accept it or not.
Yes.
And it was well written and from the cabinet office.
Your parents must have been very proud.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's one of them feelings that you can't really. It's priceless moment that you can't really take away from.
I can see you've got two medals there.
That's right. Yes.
Is the other one the BCA, the British Citizens Award?
The one on the left is from the Queen okay. From Buckingham Palace, and the one on the right is a British Citizens Award, and that's from Westminster Palace.
Well, is that this year as well?
That was this year. Yes. It was in July 2016.
And what's that for?
That was for improving the British society. So, but it was for services to charity. Charity as well as services to the community as well.
Okay, fantastic. Tell us a little bit about that story in terms of what got you involved with charity work and volunteering, and when did you start off?
I started off from a young age, seeing my dad as a role model, and doing charity work and helping out the community with his charity work. Yeah. I think from there, it's just I've been brought up with it. Been brought up doing charity work.
Which particular area where you from?
I live in Burton-on-Trent, in Staffordshire, but I also work in Derby, nearby, which is nearby Burton-on-Trent.
Yeah. You work for Rolls-Royce.
Rolls-Royce, Rolls-Royce PLC.
You started life as an apprentice.
Yes, that's right. I started straight from school at the age of 16. I finished my GCSEs and then had a conditional offer from Rolls-Royce to start as a mechanical apprenticeship in engineering. And that was on the 4th of September 2006 I started, finishing from school. And it was a 3.5-year apprenticeship. I think from there, I always wanted to go into aviation. I had a passion for aviation. I think this was the best thing, closest to being a pilot. What
made you get into that? Was that your own decision? Was that your own sort of?
That's right. I thought I wanted to be unique. In the Asian community, everybody wants to have their own business. They want to.
They're going to go to the medical field or the legal field.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I just wanted to be unique in that way, and plus I had a passion, of always becoming a pilot. And I think the knowledge getting from the aeroplane engines to a front seat in an aeroplane.
So when you spoke to your dad, saying, this is the route that I want to take.
That's why he fully supported me.
Really?
Yeah, he fully supported me in that way, which you're getting to find that it's the norm at the minute nowadays in the 21st century.
Oh, yeah. And how was life at Rolls-Royce? I mean, how is life at Rolls-Royce at the moment?
It was good. It was needed to get used to the engineering side to it, because I was coming straight from school, and working your way towards up engineering is quite hard. But you put your head down and work hard, and it got me there. So I finished my apprenticeship, and the first year of the apprenticeship is basic engineering, so turning, milling, CNC, stuff like that. Yeah. And then from the first year to second year, you go out into the business, do different attachments around the business to get to know the business. Then the third year, it's more in depth, so on the shop floor, getting to know all the systems and working on the systems and making it as a day job.
In terms of specifically in terms of the Asian community, I mean, there can't be that many British Asians.
There isn't. No, it's quite restricted. But even when I was in Rolls-Royce, my intake, there weren't many Asians from. It's a community that wasn't present there.
I mean, obviously the parents have a big role in terms of playing in this. a lot of parents tend to sort of direct people, their youngsters, their children towards obviously college and university.
That's
and
right,
those
yeah.
sort of professionals. From your perspective, obviously you said your parents were fully supporting you. Did they give you any sort of, was there any negativity in terms of what is was it?
I think there was. I had full support of my parents. Like I said, education is key. Education is power, as they say. But it's just the way that you want to put yourself forward and your commitment in doing that. So, like I said, my commitment in doing that, I wanted to do it. I had a passion for aviation, and that passion plays a part in achieving the tunnel vision and seeing the green light at the end of the tunnel.
In terms of youngsters today, I mean, obviously there's a lot of them that are still unclear in terms of their paths and what they want to do. So it seems like automatically they go into the college profession and so forth. What's your thoughts in terms of giving them a little bit of advice or encouragement in terms of particularly?
I personally, as I went in apprentice route from a young age from school, I personally think that apprenticeships are the best way forward. Nowadays, back when I started in 2006, there wasn't many opportunities around. But I think now, coming up to the 21st century, employers realise that, it is best to take on apprenticeships, and apprenticeships are the way forward. You learn a trade, you get paid for it, and you get academic qualifications at the end of it. I think that paves the way for your future.
Besides, to me, you're known as an apprentice, obviously, Rolls-Royce, and as a young person who's gone into that field, but you're also known for all the sort of charity work that you do, the volunteering that you do. Let's talk a little bit about the volunteering work that you're doing, and obviously, as I mentioned, you started off at a very young age in terms of your volunteering work. You've been recognised for that. Just tell us a little bit about your volunteer work.
I started off at a young age working for different charities, raising money from a young age. However, I started off locally with the Staffordshire Youth Service, so I was volunteering for them, and I used to sit on a committee that used to give out funds for like the youth clubs around the area. That was to buy equipment.
So you were on the panel, were you?
You were on the panel, yes, for the funding panel. So used to give out, allocate funds for the youth clubs for like equipment and etc. From there, I worked my way up to a Millennium Volunteer with Staffordshire Youth Service, and whilst I was doing that at a young age, whilst I was doing my apprenticeship as well, but I also became a chairman I was elected chairman for the Uxbridge Youth Centre, and that was at the age of 20. So it was quite a big responsibility to fill, but also I wanted to do something with my own community. So it's derelict building, and to regenerate that, and to bring more income in, and however just to change the facility for the community needs. I think we did an excellent job there, as well as the committee as well, not just myself and
the whole team.
The whole team, yes. And we regenerated it. Health and safety was up to scratch. It was regulated as well, but also it was we regenerated the car park, well as internal health and safety policies as well. And also installed double glazing windows all around the facility.
There can't be many people who can say at the age of 20 they were a chair of a panel, of a committee, and so forth. Obviously, a lot of responsibility there.
That's right.
How many other people were involved in terms of obviously this organisation?
There's a committee of around about 7 of us,
Wow.
7, 8 of us.
Yeah.
However, we all had roles to fill. So my role was the health and safety of the facility. So I introduced policies.
So with the training with Rolls-Royce,
that's right. Yeah. That all helped. So everything I heard learned from Rolls-Royce, I put that into practice with the facility of the community centre.
And obviously, you've been recognised in terms of your charitable work, community work, and so forth. What other? I mean, obviously, I'm aware that you've been recognised in terms of other awards, in terms of the award ceremonies that you tend to be invited to. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
That's right. Well, I've had quite a few awards, but mainly being the Positive Role Model Award from Oracle Events, which was based in Yorkshire. But then from there, it's gone to a bit more further down the line, which is the National Diversity Awards, which is the UK's largest diversity awards. That was this year. That's right, yes. So just recently, a few weeks ago, and that was based in Liverpool. And there's quite a lot of celebrities present there, and I was quite fortunate to be honoured with a Positive Role Model for Age, such a national award. and quite honoured and privileged.
Yeah, that was just a few weeks ago, I think.
A few weeks ago, yes. It was on the 16th of September.
So what's going on at the moment in your work and your volunteering work? I mean, how is life generally with you at this moment in time?
That's right. At the minute, I've got a few projects planned. However, in this moment of time, I've become an ambassador for Rolls-Royce PLC.
Wow.
And that's for STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and maths.
Yeah, there's there's a shortage there.
That's right. Yeah. So promoting STEM within the workplace as well as schools to inspire young adults that are at school and want, career at Rolls-Royce or create an engineering fact.
Yeah.
It's just based on activities, basically going to schools and doing activities with them to inspire them for the future.
Right. When does that start off? Or is that started off now?
It has already started off, yes. I was at the Founder show on the STEM stand with Rolls-Royce just to inspire young children with, making a small jet engine that's made out of CNC parts.
I mean, when you're talking to these youngsters, I mean, how do you find them in terms of, do you feel the fact that they're a bit more motivated or committed?
That's right. They're motivated at a young age. They have passion at a young age. It's just trying to get them that tunnel vision of where to go in the future. Yeah. And I think they need that push and something to promote Rolls-Royce products as well. If you show them a Rolls-Royce product, it's promoting the Rolls-Royce product, but also the brand, and it's giving them a future to look forward to. Something to aim towards.
Yeah, just to clarify, this is Rolls-Royce PLC, which is the engine maker rather than Rolls-Royce the cars.
That's right. Yes, it's Rolls-Royce PLC is the biggest market is civil aerospace, which is the aero engines. Right. And they are the second biggest manufacturer of aero engines, and it is a British company, and it's a multinational company.
Okay. In terms of, obviously, you talked about in terms of being a pilot. Have you achieved your ambition? Is that still working towards that, or what?
That's right. When I started my apprenticeship at a young age, I always from such a childhood dreams. I always wanted to become a pilot, and doing my apprenticeship with Rolls-Royce and working towards that dream, it inspired me working at Rolls-Royce to get that dream even further.
It must be quite expensive though.
That's right. Yeah. It was an expensive hobby, and I funded it myself. However, it had paid off, and finally got my pilot's license after 2 years, part time.
Congratulations! There can't be many people who can claim to have a pilot's license, but again, congratulations with that. We talked about obviously goals and ambitions and so forth. Where are you in life at this moment in time? Obviously, at the age of 26, still very, very young. You've given a lot to community. You've given a lot again to family, to the work that you've got. Where do you see the next sort of 4 or 5 years?
I think next 5 years is a good question actually. Next 5 years still progressing. Yeah. So I'm still with Rolls-Royce PLC, and I hope to stay with them for the next 5 years as well as the future as well. However, STEM, trying to promote STEM more in schools and inspiring youngsters, and also doing international work with my charities as well, as helping kids out there and any victims of natural disasters as well. So that's still progressing for the next few years, and I'm hoping not to give that up at this moment of time. However, just anything for the community, anything that could help to inspire and change lives. Right. Okay. Fantastic. I mean, obviously, a lot of support with Rolls-Royce in terms of giving you that element of time as well, in terms of doing the community work, and obviously giving you the opportunity to progress with that. So, obviously, you must be very appreciative of it. That's right. They've gave me that support. Even from the CEO, down towards local management as well. And I think it's with that support, it gives me that opportunity to spread my wings further with the company, and to aspire to do more for the local community as well as a career. And Rolls-Royce, do they still have the apprenticeship program? Are they still doing apprenticeships? Rolls-Royce is still one of the best engineering programs in the world, and I think it's quite honoured that I actually went through that program, and quite lucky to say at the least. But excellent program, and I would recommend it to any youngster that is thinking about apprenticeship in Rolls-Royce. Okay. Any messages for our, particularly in terms of maybe the parents and maybe even the youngsters out there in terms of... all I could say, like I said, is education is power, and having that knowledge there to achieve what you want to achieve, but also to conceive it and believe it and achieve it. Like I said, if I could do it, so can you. Wow. Well, Saj, really appreciate your time. Thank you for becoming an ambassador for us, and obviously we'll be in touch. Thank you, Saj. Thanks a lot. That was a conversation with Sajid Rashid, who is an ambassador for us at the Asian Apprenticeship Awards. We're proud to have him as our ambassador, along with our other ambassadors and judges, as well as our other supporters.
Thank you to all of them for their continued support. Thank you.